Good morning, folks. How you doing today? What's new and what's up? I hope you're doing well. And the main purpose of our meeting today is to really zoom in to the PMBOK Guide 5th edition test takers. In other words, if you're thinking of taking the PMP exam based on the 5th edition, I've got some ideas for you. And that's pretty much what I want to cover today. If you are taking the 5th edition exam, I just want to cover a few things with you about why you should take the 5th edition exam. Okay, I've been getting a lot of questions. Phil, I want to hop off the bus and join the 6th. I don't want to be on the 5th anymore. I just wanted to encourage you, inspire you, motivate you, give you some information that might help change your mind as far as the PMBOK Guide 5th versus the 6th, okay? L. Cook, how you doing this morning? Good to see you. So our main meeting points, kind of captured in my Post-it notes, so I'm going to be covering these with you. And also, if you intend taking the PMBOK Guide 5th edition exam based on this one, I am going to be sharing with you my secret archive of to-dos. Now you see how all these are? These are pure gold. I'm going to be sharing with you. I'm going to be reading them out. And these notes have been used on several mock exams to boot people into shape for the PMP and CAPM. So I'm going to be sharing top of the waves what I have gleaned from my years of training this thing. I'm just going to give you about 40, 50 points to help your study because I want you to pass the exam based on this thing. Look, if you've been on this journey for the past 4 or 5 years and you're thinking of hopping off the bus, you might want to think again because this is not going to be a cakewalk. You know, I find a lot of folks thinking, oh, this is going to be a cakewalk. Why do they think it's going to be a cakewalk? It looks a bit friendlier maybe, more colorful, right? And it also has all that stuff about leadership, which is great, and exciting topics, and management, and agile. Let me just say that this is not going to be a replacement for the ACP exam. You know, people who think, I'm going to take the PMP exam based on this, and I'm just going to mow it down because it has agile. No, no, no. Agile is but one tiny piece of this. This is 756 pages. This is 586 pages. So again, to keep to a point, take this exam. Don't be a little wimp. Don't run away from it. Face it. Face it, you can do it. Don't be a little wimp. Take this book, hit it down on the table, open it, and dissect it. You can absolutely do it. I want you to do it because you've come so far. Many of you have been traveling for the past 4 years, since 2013, going on 5 years for some people, and now you want to hop off the bus? What's the matter with you? Have you forgotten all the energy, all the time that you put into this thing? Have you forgotten the previous failures that made you study like crazy? Now you want to hop off the bus? What are you talking about? Boss up. You can do it. This is nothing to you. Keep telling yourself, I can do it. I can hit this book hard and I can pass the 5th edition exam, and I'm not going to be running away like a little wimp into this one because this could even be worse for you. Let me tell you why it's going to be worse for you. Or should I be a bit optimistic and say why it could be worse for you? First of all, this book has known risks. You know this thing. I mean, you look at it in the morning, you know exactly what it talks about. It's like that neighbor that you see coming and going, right? That's the fifth edition. It has a lot of known risks. You know that if you're taking the exam, you need to study certain things based on what you've heard on social media. Has a lot of known risks. Has a lot of people who have been there, taken it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then passed on the fifth try. Personally, I have mentored 2 people. One took this book, the exam, 7 times. Well, previous editions plus this, 7 times. So that person took this, I think, 3 times, and lots of other PMBOK guide editions many times. Now, the knowledge and the lessons learned from that person are invaluable. You cannot replace that with this. This has got to achieve its journey. It's got to go through the passage of time. It's got to go through people failing it for lessons learned from people to help others. And by lessons learned, I'm talking about when people say, wow, I studied it this way or I studied it that way. I'm not talking about people disclosing anything on the exam. I'm talking about the study methods, the process, how people did it. It's invaluable. We've got so much of this. If you go onto PMI's forum on LinkedIn, I don't know if you guys have gone on that forum on LinkedIn, there is a lot of information about people who took the exam, failed it the first time, second time. So these known risks, they are so well compiled for the fifth edition, okay? So known risks is definitely one of the reasons why you want to take the fifth. And I'm talking specifically to those people who are thinking of jumping off the bus, who don't want to bus up. You got to bus up. You spent hundreds of hours on this. Next thing is ITTO confusion. The ITTO confusion that I have been through as a result of opening this, ITTO confusion, it is just so nightmarish. It's so annoying. I open a chapter in this book, and then ITTO confusion sets in because I've got the fifth edition in my head, but they've got different spins on everything. Data analysis has a totally different spin now, and they break it down into different tiny little pieces. But they don't call those pieces out as an explicit tool, technique, input, or output. They're baked in, which makes it even more annoying and difficult to keep in your head because you just see project documents as an input. Oh, but there's stuff hidden. Did you know? So this, honestly, I have to be honest with you guys. I have been on this journey for over a year. I was one of the final reviewers. I contributed to it. But at the end of the day, it's a nightmare to me. So chapters 1, 2, and 3 were the chapters I really honed in on when they were doing the reviews and suggested a bunch of things. But now that I'm going through it again, it just looks totally different. It's not a cakewalk. ITTO confusion. You do not want ITTO confusion, so if you are on the fifth, don't be a little wimp. Stay on the bus. Slap the book over the head. Arm wrestle it. Beat it up and get it into your system, all right? The next thing is momentum. You've got that momentum going. You've been on this road for quite a while. You were going at 30, 40, 50. Now you're going at 100 and you want to stop the car? How can you stop the car at 100? You've got that momentum going. If you stop the car, folks, if you stop that vehicle for this thing, you know what's going to happen? The law of momentum is going to kick in. You're not going to be able to get that traction because you stopped. Now, instead of this helping you, it becomes a wedge. And you're like, oh, I'll read it tomorrow. Oh, I'll go to a course tomorrow. I've seen this happen. Trust me, I've trained so many people who get to the brink of taking the PMBOK guide that they've been studying for all that while, and then they're like, oh, well, I think I'm just going to do it on the fifth edition. All the people that said, oh, I'm going to do the exam on the fifth, who were with me on the fourth, a lot of them, folks, hundreds of them have not even opened the fifth. Talk less, take the fifth exam. So if you have been on the journey, beware of that momentum. You want to capitalize on the momentum for this, or the law of inertia is going to kick in where this becomes a wedge. Your momentum is just going to tank, go down, and then you're going to be trying to ramp up on this thing. Don't underestimate this book. It's a tough book, folks, compared to this. Okay? Enough said. Momentum is another reason. Next thing, inexpensive tools. There are so many cheap books out there. So many cheap books. You know, things that you can buy for like peanuts. Go on Amazon, go on eBay, go on Google Books or whatever. You'll find so many inexpensive, now I'm not saying they're all good, but very inexpensive PMP study materials. Now choose wisely, but the bottom line is this. Whichever book you wish to get on Amazon is going to be probably a lot cheaper now for the 5th edition because publishers want to get rid of the huge backlog of stuff they've got. They've got tons of books and they need to get those books off their shelves. Cheap books, cheap materials. Now, typically our 5th edition course for a week costs $75. Today, if you get that course for 1 week, it's going to be the cost of a few Happy Meals. So if you go to Praizion.com and check out the 35-hour course for a week, it has been reduced, but I'll talk about that later, all right? The next thing I want to refer to is the free content. There are so many channels on YouTube with free content. What is going to happen on the 6th edition? All of that free content will be next to useless because terminology is going to change and you use at your own risk. So all of that free stuff, including my 40 days to PMP and CAPM exam success, it's free. It's out there on YouTube. 8 hours, you know, you can plow into the information easily. But once this goes away, that information is not going to be as useful, is it? So there's a lot of free content right now. Use that free content. The last thing that I've got here is the loss of interest. Loss of interest, folks. Loss of interest will happen. Don't deceive yourself. Don't deceive yourself into saying, no, I'm going to keep up the momentum. I'm going to keep. No, you're not. Your job is going to kick in. Life is going to kick in, and it's going to get crazy. And it's easier for people who are starting on this to sustain it. For you, the frustration, such as the frustration I went through trying to convert ITTO from here into here, you're going to go through that same frustration, folks. I'm not being negative, I'm just being honest. And that frustration is so frustrating. I've been on the journey for a while, trust me. Loss of interest. By the time you open up a few chapters and ITTO confusion sets in, you could be derailed. Now, there are some people who are going to do this, who are going to do the 6th for other reasons. Let me talk about those folks, okay? Now, some of the people who have been taking the 5th edition exam have taken it like, I don't know, like a serial adventure. Took the 5th edition exam in 2013 when it first came out, failed it 3 times, started again in 2014, late 2014, failed it again. Hey, those folks, I can understand those folks saying, Phil, this would be my 3rd strike and I'm out if I take this one. I think I'm going to stay on the fence and wait for this. Well, I can't convince you to take this, but I can say I understand your fear if you've been a serial test taker and you don't want to take this for the 3rd time because you feel you'll fail and you're like, I'm just going to start afresh on this. I'm going to let my 1-year period lapse and then I'm going to take this. I can understand, you know, and I sympathize that it's been very difficult. Some people, no matter what they do, they find that it is just a crazy exam. They find it so crazy. But I want to encourage you by giving you some tips and tricks. I don't know if this will, you know, encourage you, change your perspective, change your mind, but I've got a laundry list of notes, right? These are my special notes I have compiled for going to a decade, and I use these to write poisonous questions that make people wake up. You know, when that poison hits, you wake up, you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't know there was this crazy an animal out there. And then you go get vaccinated. That's what this does. It gets you vaccinated so that when you face the real exam, you'll be so vaccinated you can take it out. All right, so here we go. A few things that you should know. I'm just going to mention them and you can go research them. I'm not going to teach them, but I'm just going to go through my checklist, all right? So this is page 3, page 2, page 1. All right. PMO functions. Do you know what the PMO is? Do you know the types of PMOs? What are the commonalities between projects and operations? Stakeholder influence and cost and staffing levels. Executing, do you know that that is where majority of the money is spent? All right, 3 types of project phases. I should say 3 types of project life cycles. So iterative life cycle, incremental life cycle, fully plan-driven life cycle, change-driven as well. So I know they put iterative and incremental together, but you should be able to separate it out because the PMI have done that. Those of you who want to take the 5th edition exam, if you don't have a study guide, if you are one of those students that does not have a study guide, I want to send you Project Management Basics. If you're in the United States, I want to send this to you for free. Now, I only have 4 copies. This is for people that don't have study guides. If you do have a study guide, please don't say you don't. But if you don't have a study guide and you're looking for a way of just studying something in addition to the PMBOK guide, I want to encourage you. I have got 4 copies. All right? So send an email to support@praizion.com. If you're in the United States, I'm going to send you these. We use these to train companies on basic project management, okay? Now, a lot of people studying for the CAPM may find this useful, okay? It is nonetheless a good read if you are trying to take a PMI exam on the 5th edition. I am giving them away for free, so why don't you chat in or actually send an email. The first 4 emails from people in the United States, just leave your address. We're going to send this to you totally free, okay? Only for the first 4 because I've only got 4 copies, okay? So I want to encourage you. I want to motivate you. I want you to kill this thing. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. You know, I'm speaking to myself as well because I've been on the sidelines for many an exam. The RMP, I was on the sidelines, even though I had the risk experience, kind of being lazy until I slapped my head one day and said, Phil, you got to do it. The SP, being lazy, until Mary Hirschner said, Phil, aren't you going to take the SP as well, my mentor? And then she challenged me, and then I took the scheduling professional. The Agile was the worst. The ACP, I stayed on the sidelines with the excuse, oh, I'm training, even though it was true, but hey, that's not an excuse not to take it. But now that I'm certified with all these certifications, I know it takes a push, and I'm hoping that this will push or motivate or encourage someone. This is my way of telling you I am there to help. Okay, so it's totally free. Send those emails in. The first 4 emails that come into support@praizion.com, we're going to give those 4 books away to those folks. All right, so still on my notes for this exam. Organizational structures. Who is responsible for project management in the various organizational structures? What are the different roles of those people? Expediter, coordinator, where do you find those roles? Which knowledge area is responsible for communicating? Sounds very trivial, but it could be a trick. Communicating with your stakeholder to engage them, all right? Read that. Develop project charter. The business case is important. Direct and manage project work. Approve change requests. They are important to direct and manage project work. What is the major output of direct and manage project work? What are the major tools and techniques used in monitor and control project work? Estimate costs. Which enterprise environmental factors are relevant to estimate cost? Which tools and techniques are used for the scope management plan, cost management plan, risk management plan, schedule management plan? Do you know the difference between corrective action, preventive action, and defect repair? Work performance reports are an input to which process? Are you able to calculate earned value if you're not given a monetary amount? Are you able to find earned value based on a chart? Do you know how to calculate SPI, CPI? Do you know how to distinguish between bogus values in earned value management calculations? What is the difference between project scope and product scope? What is a design of experiments? What are project exclusions? What are project boundaries? What is a work package? Define variance analysis. What is the difference between parametric estimating and analogous estimating? Discuss published estimating data and commercial databases. That's page 1. Page 2. How do you detect availability of resources? What do you do if resources aren't available? What do you need to calculate SPI and CPI? Do you know the formula n times n minus 1 divided by 2? What is fast tracking and how is it different from crashing? What is rolling wave planning? What is decomposition? How are leads and lags applied in develop schedule versus control schedule? Explain. Critical chain method. Explain. Resource leveling versus resource smoothing. Critical path method, knowing how to calculate it. Project management estimating software. Where do you use project management estimating software? What is the PMIS? What is benchmarking? What is a DOE, design of experiment? Which tools are used in quality? What is flowcharting? Again, what are the tools and techniques of quality? Quality control measurements, what are those? What are the different components in the cost of quality? Explain control charts and their different components. So what are the components of the control chart? What is a quality checklist and where is it used? Explain Pareto's law. What are the different names for fishbone diagram? Explain the concept behind the fishbone diagram. Define histograms. What is networking? Where are organizational charts used and in which plan can we find organizational charts? Explain organizational theory. Explain pre-assignment. Explain negotiation. Explain acquisition. Explain team building. That is page 2. On to page 3. Shewart and Deming, who are they? Ground rules, co-location, recognition and rewards, interpersonal skills. Define all of those. Observation and conversation. What is that? Where is it used? What is in the staffing management plan? What are the EEFs for plan human resource management? What are EEF updates and where do you see enterprise environmental factor updates in a PMBOK guide? What is the difference between forming and storming? Team performance assessments, explain. Conflict management, explain. Which conflict management approach is most? Which conflict management approach should you gravitate towards the most? Stakeholder analysis, explain. Where is this used? What is in the communications management plan? Hey folks, that's a big one. Go check up your communications management plan in the PMBOK Guide 5th edition. There is some stuff there that people may not have taken note of. Go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Managed communications, what are the outputs of it? What are the outputs of managed stakeholder engagement? In which project management process do you report on project performance? Explain the concept of meetings in risk planning. What is assumptions analysis? What is a risk register? What is a risk urgency assessment? What is risk categorization? What is a probability and impact assessment? What is a risk reassessment? What are risk audits? Decision tree analysis, explain. Quantitative risk analysis and modeling techniques, explain. What should you do with a low priority risk? What are the strategies for negative risks? What are the strategies for positive risks? What is an RBS? What is an OBS? What is a WBS? All right. And I can see one more page with a few notes of question possibilities. Let me see if this makes any sense. It's been so long, I took a look at this. Okay. All right, so I was doodling some ideas for questions here. So Brenda, the project manager, is in the middle of executing. The stakeholders are upset they have not received project performance metrics. Which process needs to be improved? Julius is negotiating with various staffing firms for resources for the project. Eventually, he decides to go with the firm M, as in the letter M, T Heads. A contract is awarded. In which process is the contract awarded? That should be an easy one. The customer is not doing a very good job of approving deliverables. This is affecting the schedule. Which process should be improved to solve this problem? And the last one I've got here, I guess this one made its way into our quizzes eventually. And again, this is about 7 or more years ago. Jake's boss tosses him a wad of notes of £30,000. Deal with the risks. Deal with the risk if it shows up. I'm on vacation in Spain next week. What risk approach is this? Very funny. All right. So, folks, those are my old archived notes. I am hoping that this helps someone getting ready for the exam based on the big bad boy here. Now, again, this is not half as big as 756 pages. But you see, the reason why it doesn't look as intimidating is the paper used for this one is a lot thinner than the paper used for this. So it gives the optical illusion that they're the same number of pages. No, they're not. 756, 586. So, oh, one more thing. In addition to this, you also have the Agile Practice Guide. So I'm really hoping that this encourages someone. I just wanted to let you know that I am here to help you, to support you. If you want to get certified on the 5th edition, don't be a little wimp. Pick up your ammo and go kill it, because you absolutely can. All right? So that's all I have for today. Let me see if we got any questions in. Thank you very much for those of you who chatted in. L. Cook Amjid, thank you very much. Good to see you. CLC 077. Please remind me, is that Carl or is that someone else? CLC 077. Dev, good to see you, my good friend. Dev has been on the journey, and Dev is one of those students who the tides of life have tried to throw him up, but he's saying, Phil, I'm going to stay on it. I'm going to kill it. I love that zeal, Dev. L. Cook says, I was honestly going to take the 6th. I have until April 12th to take the exam, or else my application expires. I'm taking the test on March 24th. So, L. Cook, let me just ask you this question really quickly. You've been for training, right? You've been for a course. You have studied the book somewhat. Tell me, what are the obstacles you're facing? Type them in the chat. Let me see. Ichu, good to see you. Thank you for joining this early morning. Oh, you were just telling your husband you have cold feet. Ichu, do it. You've been on the journey. Pick up your ammo and kill this thing. Kill this thing. Kill it. Christopher Clark. Okay, so you've been on quite a few calls. I thought you were Carl, but this is Christopher. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you. Okay, so you guys, at the same time, send it to support, because I need another pair of eyes on it. So if you send it to support, we're going to have people work on that. So yeah, I can't go off the chats. You need to send it to support@praizion.com. All right. I don't have a PDF, unfortunately. I only have hard copies of the books that were left from the publisher, and come the 6th edition, these aren't going to be used anymore, so I just thought, let me give them out to people in the US. I can't ship them overseas, I'm afraid, and I don't have the PDF. Mohammed, you have the 5th edition. Hey, do it, man. tool up and get loaded on ammo. Rohini, good to see you. You're going to kill it, Rohini. I'm not even concerned about you. You've been loading up on ammo. You've been taking out those namby-pamby mock exams, right? So I'm guessing you're going to deliver, right? Those are namby-pamby mock exams to you, Rohini. Olivia, thank you very much for your chat. Alejandro, good to see you again this week. So Alejandro, remind me, are you taking the 6th or the 5th? I can't remember. Atif is going to take out the 5th. I already know that. Right, Atif? You're going to take out the 5th. El Cook, I see you've been for a course. Adebola, thank you very much. I know. Hey, here is my 2 cents. If you are trying to get certified and you are not leveraging the power of family, you are not leveraging the power of your stakeholders at home, you're doing it the wrong way. You cannot do it alone. Your kids are stakeholders. They need to know, hey, mommy's preparing for a very tough exam. She needs your help in keeping it down. She needs your help in testing her. That's how you do it. You get them involved. You get them to open up the PMBOK guide with you and just quiz you on ITTOs. You know, you get your better half, your spouse, whoever it is, to help you to get this stuff under control. You cannot do it alone, folks. So if you're trying to get certified by not including your family members, your kids, you're doing it the wrong way. One of my students in Canada, a hotel manager back at the time, he'll be driving his kids to school and he will have Phil on the car stereo, and his kids would know the ITTOs better than him because guess what? He got them to test him. So you need to get your kids, your family members, people who care about you, people who want your career to exceed what it is now. You need to get those folks to help you. Okay? That's my 2 cents. All right. Thank you, Adebola, for that. Let's see. I have no excuse, says El Cook. I have purposely pushed off taking the exam. My last day with PMI to take the exam is 4/12. Well, you know, by 4/12 it would have changed, El Cook. However, I've studied the PMBOK Guide 5th edition, and I have. El Cook, do it. Look, if you're not on our course, El Cook, go to the Praizion site right this moment. I want to show you what we've got out there for folks who joined today. And I mentioned this a little bit earlier on, but I want to show you that we've got a ridiculous deal for certain products today. As I'm speaking to you now, we have got the 35 contact hour PMP exam course for a ridiculously low price for a week, okay? So if you go to praizion.com and you click on this one right here, this one, if you click on that, the cost of this course is under, I know it says 75, but if you click on it, right, when it opens up, you will find that this has been reduced. I'm not going to mention the price online, but it has been reduced significantly for the 1 week. It has to be the 7 days, the 1 week. So that has been reduced for today. If you go in there, you can find it for really ridiculously much lower price, you know. And in addition to that, if you want a refresh that is very low cost, we've got this one here called the PMP Exam Mini Video Short Course. This is going for like 29 bucks, $29.99 this morning. So if you click on that, this is a download. It's like a 6-hour download. You can see it's $29.99, but 6 hours of refresh of the PMBOK Guide 5th edition, 5th. Look, if you're taking the 6th, don't bother, but if you're taking the 5th, you want to get that. It's usually $49.99 and it's going to go back up, but for today, it is $29.99. All right, so we're trying to help folks, we're trying to motivate them. And one more thing, if you are taking the 5th edition exam, I have a little pep talk audio that I'm going to share with you guys. Little pep talk audio. If you go to this URL, now this is me speaking a few years ago, so it has, you know, I still talk about 12 knowledge, 12 chapters, but the encouragement and the motivation that you get from it is going to be worth the listen. So even though it refers to 12 chapters and 9 knowledge areas, I'm giving this away to you for free. If you click on that link, you'll hear me talking about what I think you should do, how I think you should study. It's tinyurl.com/PMP Study Idea. So if you go to this link, you should be able to download that MP3. And let me just make sure it works. PMP Study Idea. Yeah, if you go to PMP Study Idea, you should be able to download that MP3, and you hear me getting all worked up over the PMBOK guide. Worked up in a good way, trying to motivate you, trying to encourage you. Like I said, it refers to the 12 chapters, but it's not teaching you the PMBOK guide. It's encouraging you and motivating you to go, 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 and to stop moaning and to stop being a little wimp. Many people being little wimps. No one's going to help you. Who do you think is going to help you? You can help yourself by doing the right things, okay? So do the right things. Stop expecting the PMBOK Guide 6th edition to solve your problems. No, it's not. It's only going to make them worse. It's only going to make the ITTO confusion spike up. Nobody's going to tell you the truth like I am. A lot of people would say, hey, come on the 6th edition course. No, don't come on the 6th if you are already building momentum for the 5th. Don't do it. You're going to feel so ridiculous. You're going to hate the fact that you didn't do this. And you're going to say, why didn't I? Now, like I said, there's some people who need to do this because they're scared of their third try. If this is not your third try, why are you scared? Why are you scared? What is $555 compared to months of your life saved from reading this beast? I laugh when I hear people saying, oh, I'm just going to switch to the 6th. This is crazy. It is a crazy book. I'm telling you, because I've been there, I have read through it. It's not a cakewalk. It is not straightforward. In processes where the change log is called out, change log is an output. Not so much in this one. Your change log is buried in project documents updates. And you're just going to say, oh, project documents updates. You're going to lose. You're going to miss it. But in this one, they call out every single output. They call it out plainly. I feel that people are going to have a lot of confusion trying to convert to this. So if you are already on this, keep mowing down the 5th. Again, your friend Phil is trying to encourage you. Download the free MP3, and at the same time, get a refresh for a few Happy Meals. Okay? At the same time, if you wanted to take a 35 contact hour course that will boot you into shape and refresh you, again, go to the Praizion site or simply type in pmsucceed.com, and pmsucceed.com is going to take you straight to this site where you can get the 35 hours for a week for like nothing. Okay? I don't consider that to be much, because in this course, right, the course that is now reduced, now if I clicked on it, it probably won't show it to me because I think I'm already logged in. It probably won't show it to me. Probably say you can't buy this course because you created it or something like that. But if you go to the page, it is under $60 right now. I'll just say that much for a week. Okay, so if you're trying to get certified, you need a course to refresh you. Either get this, or like I said, get the mini video boot camp. All right? You are welcome, Kaushik. I'm glad that this is helping. Let me see some other chats here. Sachi Guns, good to see you. I hope you're taking the 5th, right? Sachi Guns, you're taking the 5th. Alejandro, you're taking the 5th. Very good. All right, let's see some other chats here. So Carlos says, Phil, oh, shoot. I'm sorry to hear that, Carlos. Don't worry, Carlos. So what try is this? Is this your first or second? Or is it your third? Let me know. Thank you, Mohammed. You're so kind. You're so kind. Carlos says short questions, and some are very easy, and some are extremely confusing and challenging. Carlos, so tell me, which areas did you not do well on? Deep myth. I see your handiwork, and I'm expecting you to slaughter that exam because I've been seeing you killing those mocks. So well done. So Deep Myth says Carlos would like to hear your experience. So Carlos, can you chat in? Really sorry about that, Carlos. Yeah, nerves can really get in the way. Yeah, yeah. Stay on track, Carlos. Oh, it's your first attempt, Carlos. Get the course, man. Get the course. Come on board. Start from the beginning, ramp up, send us your results. Let's see where we can help you and do this thing. Don't try to do it alone, okay? Come on board, get tooled up, load up on this ammo, and I will take particular interest in your results. And I'll look out to helping you as much as I can. But come on board the course, okay? Yeah, so the thing about this exam, it could be a psychological game. It could be a psychological game. A lot of people, let me just share this with you. I had a student who got a 49 on our mock exam on a Sunday, 49%. Studied, tooled up. It's all about the tooling up. Tooled up, loaded up, took the mock exam again, got a 65. Took the real exam the next day, killed it. Is now PMP. It's all in the process. If you can detect what you need to close, the gaps you need to close, you might very well amaze yourself. I'm going to be sharing with you this weekend on the Savage on Saturdays. I'm going to be sharing with you, don't want to miss it. I have had 3 students who have killed the exam in the past few days. And one of them has been on the journey with us for about 10 months now. And I'm going to be sharing Mike's lessons learned on Saturday. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. I'm going to be sharing those lessons. That's all I can say. Don't miss it because I've got some gold to drop on Saturday. Olivia says, how long will the 7-day course sale last? It's going to be just today. Yeah, by tomorrow, you're not going to see this. So I would say get it. Just get it now. Get it now. Yes, Amjid, the 7-day course has those mock exams that we typically sell, plus some additional mock exams and quizzes. Let me just tell you this, Amjid. This course, it's a 35-hour course, but I can guarantee you, you could probably spend another 1 month studying the content. It's so content rich that you're not going to be at a loss. It's not one of those you go through and you just watch 3 videos or 10 videos and that's the end. No, this has got a loaded curriculum, loaded. So this is the first time we've ever offered this at a steal for less than $75 for the 1 week. All right, so what this course is going to do, it's going to put you into the fast track of studying. It's going to make you study for those 35 hours within a week, and it's going to also afford you the opportunity of taking 3 or 4 mock exams in the process. So we've got 2 200-question mock exams, 2 50-question mock exams in here, and 1 more namby-pamby. I call it namby-pamby, but it's a good warm-up because some people still fail it. A namby-pamby 200-question mock exam, which is just to kick your tires and build your stamina. So, if you come on board this and you felt, oh, I wanted to take the 200-question mock exam, which is the easy 200-question, take the easy 200-question mock exam first to kick the tires. I am hoping you get like an 85 or 90. Because if you don't get an 85 or 90, that tells me you need to do some retooling. Now, if you get an 85 or 90 on that Mickey Mouse mock exam, I call it, then you can take the more difficult mocks and go back and study from the modules, take quizzes. So much good stuff in this course, I can't even tell you how much stuff is in there. You'd have to experience it for yourself. Carlos, go get the course, man. I don't know who you're studying with right now, but if they're not kicking you into shape, motivating you, booting you into shape, you need to get that right now. Seriously. Carlos says, the thing is, some questions seem to have more than one answer. Yeah, of course. Carlos, that is the order of the day on the PMP exam. The more than one option syndrome. I'm not surprised. You see, I went into a particular PMI exam. I sat down, cracked open my screen, and when I saw the questions that were coming, I was laughing because being an examiner myself for Praizion, I'm just laughing at what they're trying to do. But then all of a sudden it dawned on me, don't laugh, because other people who don't know as much as you do are going to go through this extremely difficult, pass either this or this, I don't care which one, extremely deep. You need to know more than your instructor. I want you to get to the level where you are schooling me, where you're saying, Phil, actually, these EEFs, this is what this means, and this is how you can train this better. I need you to know more than I do. A lot of people think I should know more than them. No, I want you to know more than me. I want you to tell me how to train this stuff even better. I want you to become a PMP prof. Too many people thinking, oh, I'm just going to scoot by. People saying, here's the ridiculous question I get a lot. Phil, if I failed executing, can I still pass the exam? I'm like, why are you asking such a negative question? What are you planning to fail executing? Then don't ask. Are you planning to fail monitoring and controlling? Be a PMP prof. No more than fail. School fail. Tell Phil, hey Phil, yeah, I know you're trying to train DOE, but you could have done it better this way. That's what I need you to become. I need you to become a beast. I need you to know more than your instructor. That is the level you need to get to. I want you to inspire yourselves. Hey, I need to become a PMP prof. I need to look at the PMBOK guide and say, all right, PMI, I know where you're going, but wait a minute, you actually got this wrong. And I've had students that have done that. Mark, one of my students, Mark Na, he said, Phil, PMI got it wrong in this and this and this. And I sent PMI an email and say, hey, folks, this student's right. This part is incorrect. That's the level I need you to get to. So if you haven't become a PMP prof and you're looking at schooling, but, oh, I just want to get the, no, you're not. Don't do that. Don't be a little wimp. Boss up and master this thing and be a boss and tell the PMI, hey, 7th edition, wait for me. I'm coming. I'm going to teach you, PMI, how to write the 7th edition. I've had students like that. I've had a student who became a question writer, who went to one of those conferences, one of those workshops, and she wrote the questions. And she said, Phil, of course you know. Don't even ask me any question about the questions. But she wrote the questions and became part of those workshops. That is the level I'm looking for, the level of commitment, the level of dedication. So let's see, got a few chats come in. How many ITTOs? I'm sorry, I missed that question, whoever sent that in, about ITTOs. Do you want to retype that? Because I think I missed that, about the ITTOs. It just went by so quick. Oh, we had so much encouragement for Carlos. Carlos said, I felt like a child after I left that place. I know what it means to be schooled. Carlos, I took one ridiculous exam based on Microsoft Project many years ago. That is how I felt. Do you know what I did? I returned with a vengeance. I took the MCPS from Microsoft themselves a few years after that, and I killed it. I killed it really, really good. I skewered that exam. That's how I want you to do it this time. I want you to go back in with a vengeance and kill that thing. So don't feel bad, Carlos. I must admit, work on your patience and stay calm, he said. After I left, I thought, why did I rush to get out of there? What was my hurry? You're right, Carlos. Carlos, send me your results. I want to help you, okay? Send me your results and get signed up for that course. Adebola says, Carlos, game on, Carlos. Don't delay. Those are your lessons learned. Yeah. Rohini says, thanks for stay strong and encouraged. We will kill it. I love that. Sandy, good to see you today, Sandy. Sandy says, Carlos, thanks for sharing your experience. Barakat, good to see you today. And Carlos said, the thing is, some questions seem to have more. Oh, I've read that. Okay. So I'm just catching up on chats. Carlos says, questions next. It's the order of the day. Alejandro says, Carlos, I'm sending you my best wishes and encouragement. Adebola signing up. Very good. Do it. Do it. Just, you've been on this journey for too long to give up. So if you need that extra encouragement, that motivation. But one thing I'm going to tell you, folks, when you sign up, take yourself out of your comfort zone. Too many people trying to study in their houses. It's not very good because you're always distracted. So you need to get out of your comfort zone, out of your familiar surroundings, immerse yourself into a place like the library or your work environment. You get a better payoff. That's my 2 cents. Tusha, good to see you. Tusha is a PMP and a PMI RMP and an SP. And oh, that's so kind of you. And says, a big credit goes to your YouTube videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much for your support, Tusha. Appreciate your comment. And if you're looking to get certified in anything else, if I can offer my 2 cents, I'll be extremely happy to do that. Carlos says, the most I could give you guys is work on your patience and your nerves. Your nerves will get you if you don't. No, Adebola, it doesn't matter. You could have had your 35 hours. Hey, listen to this. This is important. You might have your 35 hours from a different course, but maybe that was 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago. Get it? You might have been for 35 contact hour, namby-pamby, ridiculous death by PowerPoint course. Get it? This is not death by PowerPoint. This will engage you. In addition to that, too many people going for these ridiculous courses where people don't care about you. They don't look at your result. They don't care to give you a custom plan or idea. They're like, oh, buy the course. And then you come on board and you can hardly even get engagement from them. Not so much. All right? I come online. I speak to you. You see me. It's not some shadowy figure. A lot of shadowy figures in the world of training. They've got this fancy site, but you never see anyone. You don't see them on YouTube. You don't see them pumping out content for you. You don't see them like your buddy Phil giving you free MP3s and PDFs. So stop signing up for those dumb courses. The way we have learned has progressed over the years, and now we're at the point that social media is important. People aren't engaging you weekly. They're not training you. They're just giving you stuff. They're using what? Pull communication. There it is. Go get it. There's no interactive communication going on. You see, they're not interacting with you, or they have webinars and they don't call you by name and they don't care that you're on because they don't care. It's all about the buck. For me, it's not about the buck. A lot of what I do is outside of here. I have a lot of clients, hundreds of students. In fact, it will amaze you that the hundreds of students don't even show up for this because I do a lot of stuff outside of here. So what I'm trying to say, sign up for the course, get engaged, and shoot us messages about your progress and your frustrations. All right? So if you are a student of ours, we'll pay close attention to you and how you're doing. All right? So if you got your 35 hours, yeah, you might have your 35 hours, but where's your previous coach? Where's your trainer? Where's your mentor? They're not there. Phil is your friend. Phil is your mentor and your coach. So why wouldn't you jump on the course? Why? What are you waiting for? Carlos goes further to say a lot of situational questions. And what should a PM do next? Tippy Toes, good to see you. Thank you for signing up for that course. And hey, you made the right choice doing it today because, like I said, tomorrow it ain't going to be at that price. It's going to be back up to the regular price. Carlos says, and they're very short questions. Very short questions. 2 sentences at most. It's true. But do you know how much havoc you could wreak in 2 sentences, Carlos? You know, a lot. A lot. Olivia says, it doesn't matter if you've already been through a 35 contact hour course. Yeah, the course credit is extra. Yeah, so the course credit, I know a lot of people, they sign up to get the course credit. But I had a student who passed last night. Brandon, if you are watching by any chance, Brandon is one of our students. He killed it. Now, Brandon came on about a month ago. He signed up for this 1 month option, and he got the book because we have a book that comes with the 1 month for people in the US, you know. And he loaded up, he tooled up, and now he's a PMP, you know. Those of you who are interested, give me a second here. I'm just going to get you something else. Hey, Pimpy, can you entertain people while I go get the book? Pimpy, can you entertain people? Do some magic tricks or something. All right? I'm going to go get a book that I am very sure will help you. And while I'm getting this book, I'm going to leave Pimpy to entertain you. So just bear with me. Pimpy, can you entertain these folks?
Yes. Those of you who want to get certified on the 5th edition, do you know the trick to getting certified on the 5th edition? The trick is to read the PMBOK guide and to take Phil's course. If you're not taking Phil's course, you are in trouble.
All right, Pimpy, enough of that. He gets a little bit animated. Pimpy, sit down. All right, those of you who want to take the 1 month course, this book is sent to those folks who are in the US and Europe. If you're outside of the US and Europe and you take the 1 month option, you get a PDF copy of the book. But this is a book that so many people have said, Phil, I want to read just this. I don't want to read this. I'm like, don't be silly. You got to read both. But this will help you with this, all right? So if you are on the 1 month option, you would have gotten one of these in the mail. Why am I showing this to you? Because Brandon, who killed the exam yesterday night, had one of these, right? He came on board the 1 month option, tooled up and loaded up. The 1 month option isn't on sale today, but if there is anyone who wants to go on the 1 month instead, just let me know, okay? And then we'll help you fix that. If you have already gotten this and you want to go on the 1 month, you know, I'll communicate with you and let you know what the difference would be. And we'll also give you a deal on that as well. If you're more keen on getting this, but you've already gotten this, we'll let you pay the difference, and then you can switch to this, all right? But that's a totally different conversation. I just thought I should disclose, full disclosure, that you do get this if you are signing up for the 1 month. You do not get it, as you can see. You don't get it if you're signing up for the 1 week. But for the 1 month, you get the hard copy, okay? The 2 months has pretty much gone away because we know we've got less than 2 months. So your best bet is signing up for the 1 month, okay? And then you get this book. This book has got, you know, I should say the easier version of what is in a PMBOK guide. It's an easier read, and there are a lot of tips and tricks in that, all right? So I hope Pimpy didn't scare you while I was away, because Pimpy can be a nutcase from time to time. All right, so Carlos says, now my question is, does that test change, or what are the chances that I will see the same test again? So Carlos, yes, it does change. And for some people, it gets crazier. But for a lot of people, it gets easier. So let me give you this quick one. I had a student who took the exam last week. This student had taken the exam once before, came close, failed it. When the student was going through the exam, that student felt, oh, I'm mowing them down. I'm gonna make Phil proud by the time I come out. And by the time that student finished the exam, 1 or 2 process groups were off and didn't pass. Last week, when this student took the exam, felt like failure. This is worse than the first time. I have failed. I am just going to see myself through the exam and crawl out. Hit the end button. This student came out overall above target. Someone who felt, this is it, I failed. It's curtains. But this student passed the exam with above target overall. So what does that tell you? If you feel like you're in hell on the PMP exam, keep going through it, because you're going to come out on the other end successful. And even in the process, you feel like you're going through hell on the exam, keep going through it. You will amaze yourself. You feel like you're going through hell trying to prepare for the exam based on this. Keep going through it, folks. Don't stop, okay? So the exam does change, Carlos. That is the point I'm trying to make, you know? That is what I'm trying to say. Deep Myth says, quick question, what's the level in each process group one needs to get to pass? So this is a very, very good question, actually. This is a great question, Deep Myth, because it takes more than just explaining on the surface. You know, before I used to explain it on the surface. Oh, you need to pass 4 process groups, including execute. No, no, no. That it has changed so much over the years. I've seen people who have failed executing and have passed the exam. People who have failed monitoring and control and passed the exam. I've seen people who have failed 2 process groups. Like I've seen someone who has failed executing and closing and passed the exam. So now you need to watch my videos on YouTube, and I'm just going to open that up here because this is going to be a much longer discussion, Deep Myth. Go to YouTube, right? And in the search box, you might just want to search for PMP exam results, Praizion, and it will bring up a number of videos, but you want to look for my most current videos on the PMP exam results because I have 3 videos out there on initiating, planning. Might take a little bit of a search to find them. They're not coming up in this search. Just, oh, there we go. So this is the first video I put out, PMP exam results analysis. All right? For you to really understand how the exam works, you need to watch this video, PMP exam results analysis breakdown, because these columns represent your performance on the different tasks throughout the exam. The exam grading process is very, very detailed. And in addition to that video, I have started covering this in other videos. And I would just say, if you're getting ready to take the exam, you might want to watch this and the other set of videos I have out there on this topic, because what you need to do to pass the exam has become even more detailed and more involved. Let me see if I can find another set of videos for you guys, because those of you who watch the channel, you've probably encountered my PMP exam results videos. I have got more than one. I've got initiating, planning, and executing. Let me go back to the Praizion channel. Maybe I'll find it on the Praizion channel in our playlist. But if you are, Carlos, this is a very important one for you, Carlos. Highly advise. Okay, here we go. It's the PMP content outline explained. That's it. PMP content outline explained. This is a set of videos right here. You can see on the right-hand side here, executing, planning, initiating. These are the ones that you really need to watch because I go through all of this stuff in a lot of detail, okay? I hope that gives you an idea of what you need to pass the exam. It's not an easy discussion. It's very detailed. Wasim, again, going back to what I just said, what is a pass percentage for the exam? It is based on a sliding scale. You might want to go read up Angoff cutoff technique, ANGOFF, Angoff cutoff technique. That will give you an idea of what you need to do to pass the exam because it's based on a sliding scale. It's not based on one hard percentage across the board. So it is on a sliding scale depending on the people taking the exam at a particular time. So go read up Angoff cutoff technique. It will explain. Amjad says, Phil, it may take 48 hours for my ID to get set up. No, no, no. So your 1 week starts when we get you set up. And here's the truth. Those of you who are signing up for the 1 week, if you get it today, you actually have 1 free day. It's a secret we don't tell you because we don't want people to be complacent in logging on. But if you got the 1 week like now, we'll set you up today, but today won't count. From now till the end of the day in the US won't count. It actually starts from tomorrow and then for 7 days complete. So this is Tuesday. Tuesday is pretty much free for you. So it's Wednesday till the end of Wednesday. So it's at Wednesday at 12 midnight, oh, 11:59 midnight that your access will stop. So you actually get a free day pretty much, or some extra hours depending on when you get it. King, you're going for your exam on Saturday. I wish you all the very best. Don't forget, you might want to get this, and if not this, you also want to go to the Praizion homepage. Let's go to the Praizion homepage. On the Praizion homepage, we have got this realistic 200 question mock exam. If your exam is coming up in the next few days, you might want to get this. But right now, hey, the 1 week option, which is just about $10 more than this, is going to give you 35 contact hours of content. Why not go for that as opposed to going for this, which has the 3 mock exams but no content, at least for today? All right, and we're going to be having a lot of these flash sales to encourage people to get certified over the period. Yep, you can buy the flashcards a la carte. You can. You can just grab the flashcards. So the flashcards, the PDF flashcards are here, and they're PDFs. Some people say, Phil, is it an app? No, it's not an app, because we found a lot of people are not app savvy. We took down the app from Google, the Google Play site. So now you're going to have PDFs that they're kind of cool tests. This is an input to what? What is this? And so on. On Savage on Saturdays, we gave people a preview of how these look. So they're not bad at all to firm up your ITTOs. All right? So let's see what else we got here. Thank you for signing up, Adebola, and anyone else who did. I think I missed a chat. Amjid, thank you for doing that. So I think I've answered that question. Don't worry, Amjid, we're going to set you up ASAP. I'm going to make sure our learning administrator helps you out as soon as possible. Phil, in the 49 mock exam pack, can we do 2 mock exams? Yep, 2 mock exams. You got more days than you need. You've actually got, I think, 90 days, and we don't even enforce that as strongly, but 90 days is the time period that we tell you up front. Okay. So I hope that helps. Again, this deal that I showed you over here is only available for today. So if you don't get it today, you might have to wait a few weeks before this comes up again on sale. So my advice would be, if you are taking the 5th and you want a 1-week prep to boot you into shape, where you'll have a lot of engagement and you'll be able to find your gaps, go for that. Now, in addition to the modules, every module, like every chapter in the PMBOK guide, chapter 1, 2, 3, each one has a quiz, right? And in addition to all the 14 quizzes for each chapter, we have another bank which presents an even crazier set of quizzes. We call them the 2020 Vision. Amjad, Adebola, Carlos, if you come on the program, look out for the 2020 Vision quizzes. They are sick. They will kick you and boot you into shape. So this is not just a set of videos. These are modules, right? It has layers and layers. Let me give you a quick preview of what this course looks like, because I know some people are like, Phil, how do I know that this is going to be a good course for me, and how do I know what is in it? So let me show you really, really quick. Really, really quick. And you get an idea of the layers of complexity on this system. So when you log in to the portal, you see a set of options like this. Now, I've got more options than anyone else because I'm taking a lot of courses. I need a lot of help. Your friend Phil needs a lot of help. So it's called PMP Exam Prep Camp 2017. If you click on that and you go to the first chapter, for example, click on that. And it says I need Adobe Flash. So you do need Adobe Flash. Once Adobe Flash is in, it will open up this. So it's asking me, do I want to resume? I'll say no. I want to start from the beginning. And it comes up with the course. And again, it's not just videos, it has audio as well. And layer by layer, you just peel through layer by layer, going from slide to slide like that. And at the end of the modules, it has some basic questions just to kick the tires and find out how much you know. But this is not the main quiz for this. This is just a kick the tires type of experience. If you want the major quiz, you're going to have to go to this second line here. Oops, come back. This second line here, PMBOK Guide Chapter 1 quiz. If you click on that, that will open up the quiz for Chapter 1. See? So every chapter has got a quiz. So that's Chapter 1, all right? But let me show you what happens in the knowledge areas. This is pretty cool. You know, if you're someone who has studied the PMBOK Guide before, and what you're looking for is more like a quick refresh, you want to jump around and get those areas you're weak in, those chapters you're weak in. For example, let's say I'm weak in risk, okay? I'm weak in risk management. Click on Chapter 11 for risk. Open up the module. Would I like to resume? Let's say I start from the beginning. You know, I can go through the overview, but then I can decide to jump to perform quantitative risk analysis. And you're going to be able to see all of these listed. So if I want to jump to perform quantitative risk analysis, I can go down here. If I see a risk drama, I want to watch that drama piece on risk. You can click on that, and it will open up a drama piece just to take the edge off the studying. We've got a lot of fun stuff on this. And then you can say, okay, now I'm ready to go to quantitative. Then you can just go into quantitative risk analysis. But here's the cool thing. Here's the cool thing. For every process in the PMBOK guide, we have a commentary about the data flows. And this takes you through all of the 47 data flows step by step with text for you to be guided along and for you to know what exactly this data flow diagram is talking about. When you get done with that, you can advance on to another video, and in these videos, I show you at a very high level what exactly this process is all about. It's a very, very quick, succinct breakdown of each process. Then when you finish watching that video about the high-level breakdown, maybe you feel, for example, if I scoot on here, you can say, oh, Phil, I want to know a little bit more about quantitative risk analysis and modeling techniques. Okay, you go to the next slide, and then quantitative risk analysis and modeling techniques, you can actually click on just that to get a serving of what quantitative risk analysis and modeling techniques is all about. And then it takes you, you know, to a place where you can learn more. You know, if I wanted to see examples of a tornado diagram, you can click on that and it will take you to a place where you could see that. You see? So there's a lot of information. Now here we've got a video playing, and there's audio about expected monetary value and giving you an example about that, you see? And then when it comes to the end of that section, you can always go back to where you were previously. But the key thing about this is it allows you to pick and choose as you will. Let's go back to that slide. Let's say I wanted to know a little bit more about data gathering and representation techniques. I can click on that, and it shows me the beta, triangular, normal, uniform. I've got a blurb about that, and then there's a video just about that ITTO. So this is a very, very deep system. This is not one of those death by PowerPoint. This is a very well thought out system that is going to allow you to pick and choose as you will. Let's go to another process. Let's go to perform qualitative risk analysis, just to give you an idea. Again, we've got the video that explains the process, but then if you wanted a deeper dive into perform qualitative risk categorization, what's that? You can click on it. It's going to come up with risk categorization. You got a video. You see your friend Phil explaining to you what it's all about, and then when you get to the end of the video, you can close out and it will take you back into the map of the world for that process. So this is a very, very well thought out, well delivered curriculum, and that is exactly what you get if you sign up for the 1 week training. Okay, some people may want more than a week, and if you need more than a week, you can get the like I said, 1 month. But if you got the 1 week already, we're going to give you the 1 month at a discount. Since you've already gotten that, we're going to reduce the price of this as well for you. But you need to let us know if you want to, amp up to a month, and then we will reduce that from the 175, and make sure you just pay the prorated amount. Okay, so we really want to encourage people to get certified on the 5th. The whole idea is you've built up momentum, you have built up a lot of ammo, you've got your arsenal of tools, techniques in your head. You just need to bring it to a close. You need to do the grand finale. That's all. Don't be a little wimp running to the 6th. Boss up, folks. No one's going to help you except yourself and your family members or your friends, if you bring them for the journey. Have you ever thought of bringing your family for the journey, making them study the PMBOK guide along with you by asking you questions like that student in Canada I told you about? His children knew the PMBOK guide better than him. He would say a tool and technique and his kids will laugh at him. You got it wrong, Dad. This does not happen in defined activities. It happens in defined scope. Needless to say, he became a PMP with the peer pressure. The peer pressure his kids put on him. Kids, they're so quick. Mine already saying, oh, what is the difference between the 5th and the 6th? And they're not even PMPs. I have PMPs that don't even care to know that question, yet you've got kids asking about that. All right, folks. Well, we've come down to the wire. It's down to the end of this session. If you have any additional questions that I can answer, I will be happy to do that. Any additional questions or concerns or comments? Wasim, I hope I answered your question about the percentage. Go look up the angle of cutoff technique. Sachi Guns, I hope I answered your question. Amjid says, do I need to get above target and target in all domains? So I talked about that in the beginning. And my question was, Amjid, are you looking to not get above target? Why are you asking? It's not going to change the map of the world, is it? You are going to get above target. You are going to get above target in all domains. That's what you need to tell yourself. But to answer your question, Amjid, you don't have to get above target and target in all domains. I have had students who have failed executing and passed. Students who have failed monitoring and controlling and closing, for example, and passed. I actually brought this up with the PMI last year because I had a student on Facebook. By the way, if you have not joined my Facebook page, join my Facebook page, okay? Because once in a while I share stuff I don't share on YouTube. Also join the Praizion page. If we've added value to you, please let us know. Some people have given us feedback on the Praizion page, so please do that. But the bottom line is this student on Facebook said, Phil, how can this be? I failed the exam with a below target or below proficient at the time in executing. PMI failed me, but look, there's someone else who failed executing and I want to say it was closing and still passed the exam. So I sent the PMI folks a message and said, how is this possible? But I got some information on how it is possible. It is. So there are different bands on any exam, right? On the PMP exam, you've got, for every task, you've got low, in the middle, and high. You could fail an area just by a tiny little amount, but someone could also fail that same area by a huge amount. So when you look at the cumulative performance of that person across all of the different domains, the person could still pass because it was whiskers, from passing in certain domains. But when you look at the other domains, they pass those domains so well, So let me show you this. Just hold on. This is a very important slide I'm about to show you. Let me show you this slide because I think it could be a game changer in how people perceive the exam. I was gonna share this in my final version or my final two editions of the PMP exam results videos, but I'm going to share it live with you right now because this question that was just asked needs a good answer. So that was Amjid. Amjid, hold on. I'm going to show you this, Amjid. This is going to help you understand a lot more about the PMP exam. Are you ready, Amjid? Amjid, are you there? Amjid, have you dropped off? Amjid, are you there? Amjid, have you dropped off the bus? Because this is for you. Okay. Okay, I'm glad you're there. Okay, here we go. This is how your exam is viewed. For initiating, you've got 8 tasks. Now look at this student's performance in initiating. The yellows and the greens show you're okay. The red shows you're not good in that particular area. So let's look at initiating. A student does task 1 to 8 on the exam, of course, as you're answering the question. Task 6 isn't too good. This student will still pass initiating. Now look at this student's planning. This student, depending on how the exam is weighted, this student could very well fail planning because there are too many reds. And they may be reds in tasks that are weighted more heavily than other tasks. So yeah, this student passed task 6 and 7, but maybe task 1 carries a lot more weight. You see? Executing, this student could very well fail executing. Got a high and 2 mediums, but got 4 lows in the different tasks. Monitoring and controlling. This student may squeak past monitoring and controlling and may squeak past in closing. But because of the bad performance in executing and planning, this student could fail the exam. There are lots of greens, but the reds are a little bit overwhelming in the context of the domain. So for anyone, if you are watching this and you have previously failed the PMP exam, you need to create one of these. Carlos, are you on? Carlos, you need to create one of these. I would like to see this from you, all right? And any of our other students who may not have scaled the exam, I would like to see one of these reports. And I want you to analyze which task do I need to improve on? Where did I get it wrong? Which task is this? Let me show you. Let me just bring it all together because I know some people have no clue about the PMP content outline. You want to type in PMP exam content outline. It's going to bring up a link on the PMI site. Click on that. Open up that PDF. Go to the specific area where task 6 of initiating is and hone in on that sucker really well. Obtain project charter approval from the sponsor in order to formalize the authority assigned to the project manager and gain commitment and acceptance for the project. You need to hone in on that. You see, if we go back to the result, you take a look at 6, that's the problem area. What do we need to do? Go to your task 6 here. Try to understand what exactly are they talking about and why did I fail this? You see, a lot of people don't know that in many instances it is the project manager creating the charter. So if you get a question that tests you on the project charter being created by the PM and you say, oh no, it's not the PM, it's the sponsor, you will get it wrong. Because the PM could create the charter. The PM could be the person who does it solo and just needs the approval from the sponsor to formalize the authority assigned to the project manager and to gain commitment and acceptance for the project. But if you haven't read the PMBOK guide deep enough, you're going to think, oh no, the PM doesn't create the charter, it's the sponsor. So you become so wise in the cliche statements that are made on social media. Oh, the sponsor does the charter and only the sponsor. You get that wrong. You see where I'm coming from? So you want to use this along with your breakdown of the exam to truly hone in and see, why could I have gotten that question wrong? Do I have a misconception about these tasks? Okay? And that is going to help you better understand how to pass the exam. Okay? So Amjid, does that help explain why we cannot just say, oh, if you pass this area and this area, you pass the exam? Does that give you some clarity? So Carlos, this report, in order to get it, you need to go to pmi.org. You need to go to pmi.org and drill down into your exam result for your last attempt, because that is going to be on PMI's website. Let me see if I can find it. So I took my exam 100 years ago. I don't have anything like that. But on the PMI website, they have a little blurb. And I'm just gonna copy this and send it to all of you guys who are on the call right now. So let me shoot that to you. And you can see it reads pmi.org updated exam result reporting. I just sent everybody the link. So if you look carefully, Carlos, you'll see the updated exam result report, and this is what it looks like. To pass the exam, you need to be in this zone. Anyone in this zone, failing, as you can see. Anyone in this zone, passing. Like I talked about the student who took the exam yesterday, and and the other student who had been on the journey with us for a while, they're all in this category overall. So this is how it's broken down, and then again they give you these categories. But this is just the surface. This is the surface. You need to go into the sub-level of each of these, which is what Carlos is asking. And if you go back to PMI's page here, it says, view an example of the new exam analysis page. So the exam analysis page is peculiar to you and your exam experience. Let's click on that and let's see where that takes us on PMI's site. So if you go into your PMP exam results page, if you click on that, it will open this up. And you can go into the detail for each process group. As you can see here, it's not showing it really well, but this is initiating, and we can see task 1, task 2. That is an example of how it is, you see. But you need to go to your PM, you need to log in, right? You can see this person is logged in, log in, click on exam results, and then you can click on a PDF to get a PDF version of it, and it should show you so you can see how nice of them to use the negative end of the spectrum. They use the negative end of the spectrum. You, no, that's not you. That's not you. You better say that's not you. That's not you. This is me right up here. I'm in the above target. I'm killing it, slamming it, slaying it. So yeah, that's not me. This is me. Overall performance fail. Needs improvement. Your performance is far below target and fails to meet the minimum. This is negative psychology. That's not good. They need to make it a green. You, yeah, I want to see me up here. Anyway, that's the exam result, Carlos, and that's how you can mine into the information. All right. I hope that helps give you some clarity about this stuff, because it can be a mangled mass of mess if no one breaks it down for you. A lot of people taking the exam, a lot of people don't even know that the exam results can be gleaned, in this fashion. Now, this is from a student of ours, and I want to say a massive thank you to her for sharing, but it's anonymous, so I'm not going to mention her name, but she shared this because this for her is her learning tool of how she can improve. And I really appreciate her breaking it down into a grid in Excel, because it gave me the idea, wait, we can actually do this. Our students who are trying to get better can use this same format. So I want to say a huge thank you to you. I appreciate you. You know who you are. And this is probably going to help a lot of students frame their reference a lot better and know how to improve on the different areas. So thank you so much, our student who shared that information with us. So folks, that is pretty much it. That's all I've got. If you have any questions, I can answer. Anything I can do to help, don't hesitate to let me know. All right. Any other questions or comments or concerns? Comments, concerns, or questions? Carlos says, Phil, where can I get that report? I've got to go. I'll be taking the exam again soon. Good luck to all of you. Stay calm. Okay. Thank you, Carlos. Appreciate you, man. Sign up, come on board. Let's get this show on the road. Okie doke. So thank you very much. Those of you who are the 6th edition candidates, this meeting was really for the 5th. You know that. So if you're thinking of taking the 6th for legitimate reasons, not because you want to hop off the bus, take the easy route, right? Not because there's this illusion that, oh, it could be an agile, intense exam. No, it's not. Hey, the stuff about agile here, probably the hottest stuff you get about agile in this is the CTTCs, concepts, trends, tailoring, and consideration for agile, which would help any practitioner. So that, I don't see that as being a big deal on this exam. They have the map of agile release planning in chapter 6. That is actually an interesting one to look at, but your exam isn't going to be based on agile release planning and sprints and features and stuff. That's not it. So if you're looking at this exam thinking, oh, it's going to be a cakewalk because of the presence of agile, you got it wrong. No, it's not. No, it's not. All right, if you're legitimately looking at taking the 5th, do the 5th. Phil's here to support you. Okay, enough said. Marwan, you are taking the 6th edition exam, aren't you? So thank you for joining, but don't freak out. I'm not speaking to people like you, Marwan. If you're taking the 6th, for legitimate reasons, take the 6th. I'm talking to people who have been on the journey for a while and are thinking of jumping off the bus. Boz is great. Thank you very much, Boz. Phil, great stuff. Just discovered you today. Wow. Well, I'm glad you discovered us. I test on the 20th of March. I've already taken the exam once a few years. Thank you. Make sure you join the Savage on Saturdays. All right. Oh, Marwan, are you taking the 5th? I don't know why I thought you were taking the 6th edition exam, Marwan. Okay. Well, you're definitely meant to be here. Oh, on the 3rd of March. Good. Let's work on you killing it, Marwan. All right. Thank you very much, folks, once again. And I look forward to seeing you as a PMP. I want to send you an MP3 after you get certified. Do you know the title of that MP3? It's free for my PMP champions. The title of that MP3 is Life After the PMP Exam. So if you get certified and you drop some gold for us, I give you that MP3. Okay? So get certified, drop some gold, and I give you this long MP3 for you to listen to. And then you don't even have to listen to Phil ever again. It's like free at last. I don't have to listen to that nutcase who goes on and on about the PMI. Thank goodness. Thank goodness I'm free of Phil. I've had students who said, thank goodness I'm free of this loose cannon, this PMP fanatic. Don't blame me, folks. I can't help being excited about the PMP exam because it greatly changed my life, greatly changed my outlook to project management, and it helped me a whole lot frame my project management into a methodical, sensible array of steps. A lot of people, they're like, oh, I've been managing projects for 100 years. What can a PMI teach me? PMP is stupid. Yeah, I feel sorry for those folks because you're being unteachable, and moreover, you're saying that almost 1 million people have no common sense for getting certified. You know that's what you're saying? Because we've got over 800,000 PMPs. That number's going to hit 1 million. I guarantee you by next year that number's hitting 1 million, if not before. So are 1 million people stupid for getting certified? You're wrong. And if you're bashing, we've got a lot of PMP bashers. And if you are a PMP basher, you need to change your attitude about professional exams. I don't care if people want to take the SPHR or if people want to take the business analyst exam. I'm not going to bash them. Let them do what they want to do. Think about it. Why is the negativity about the PMP so much? Because the PMP is one of the biggest certifications in the world that changes the game. But I hear the whiny voice of, I've worked with PMPs and they're no good. But do you know that in every profession you have the good, the bad, and the ugly? We were just taking a look at the news the other day, and this nutcase, this so corrupt physician, and all the horrible things he did. But are we going to say that your doctor who saved your life, the doctor who saved my life and gave me stitches when I hit my head on the concrete slab, am I going to say that that doctor is corrupt because one doctor is corrupt? No. So it's like saying all project managers who take the PMP are stupid. That's just not good. Anyway, enough of my rant. I wish you all the best. Let's come on board. Let's kill this thing. You can do it. Boss up. All right? Look forward to speaking to you on Saturday. We're going to get savage. Speak to you then. Bye for now.